All right, everybody, I told you I would get on the range and get some shooting in. I'll go over some of the warm-up stuff that I like to do, ways we can achieve speed by not trying to keep up with the Joneses and subsequently having a terrible shot group. Those are, speed is a byproduct of repetition, will get me to such a plateau, and then I start looking at economy of motion and efficiency in videoing myself so that I can determine where I can save time, where I'm being inefficient, and how I can look at that. So this right here, this is my office. It's mine to play with. You ever want to come down, shoot, take one of the classes? You're more than welcome to. As a coach, my responsibility is to my clients. So my metric for success is a swagger in your step and a smile on your face when you walk off the range. I like to use objective findings. So pro timers, measuring the size of shot groups, pro timers determining split times, draw times, magazine chain times. If you don't have a pro timer, I highly recommend you get one. I've got a few of them. And then what we'll do is the third is video, right? So like I said, in previous videos, I'm used to teaching type A guys. So the easiest way to teach those guys is to show them what they're doing and kind of steer them in the direction that I want them to go while them thinking it's their idea, right? So I'm doing all this talking right now before I just get into some warm-up stuff because I forgot to bring my little clip-on microphone, and so the microphone on this was gonna go quiet. So I'm just gonna shoot for a little bit and then give it a few seconds for the mic to kick back on, and then we'll see how things play out. And see how I get aggressive behind my gun? There's a lot of sights out there that allow your optic to sit higher. And if my optic sits higher, it allows me to manipulate my selector switch and just shoot straight up like this. What it doesn't take into account is the psychology of combat. So my shooter stance is my fighter stance, right? And so if I'm gonna fight, whether it's with my primary rifle, my secondary pistol, or with my fist, I'm in aggressive posture, right? Does several things for me. One, it lets me get closer to the gun. Two, the height above bore is reduced, so the variation in my round impact is less at distance, okay? So I just go through a few warm-up drills. Start out with the primary. I'm just gonna come up, take my shots. I'll work through about it. some slide lock reload action. Now, let's do some transition work, okay? Forward, I'm going to create a little box drill while I'm moving. So that's some good basic warm-up drills. I'm able to do that with one box of 50 9mm rounds and let's say 5 boxes of 20 or 100 rounds of 5.56. And I build this up and I go through these repetitions because it's important that I get back on the gun, right? What you didn't see off camera was I always say out loud to myself, even if it's just like me shooting right now, right? I give myself a safety briefing. You can keep this if you want, something that we use in SF, but it goes as follows. Personnel that have been determined intoxicated by alcohol or illicit drugs can't shoot on the range. Personnel taking prescription medication that may impair judgment or the ability to handle weapons safely. Notify myself as your medic in order to make a determination of your participation or observation of training. Weapons will be handled as if they're loaded. Know the condition of your weapon at all times, whether it's loaded or unloaded. Maintain muzzle awareness at all times. Muzzle, firearms jargon. That's the end of the barrel of any weapon system, rifle, shotgun, pistol, where the bullet comes out. So muzzle awareness. I'm not going to point that muzzle at anything I do not tend to destroy. Trigger finger. I'm going to keep my trigger finger indexed. This is indexed, okay? A lot of firearms today have striker inertia safeties. By indexing the finger, that is putting that weapon on safe. Primary safety is between my ears, right? Clear mind, sound judgment. I'm going to know what my target is, what's in line with it, what's behind it. I will never shoot at anything not positively identified. I'm going to wear eye and ear protection at all times. And lastly, everyone's a range safety officer. So if you see a unsafe act or unsafe condition exists, simply call ceasefire. We'll fix the problem and then we'll continue to train. So having said that, we get into our warm-ups. It's been great talking to you today, and I'll see you tomorrow.